I've heard objections to a young Earth because of stars being, millions of light years away, and we use that, I guess, as a term of distance rather than time. But how would we understand a star that is millions of light years away, and yet we see the light of that star, but then it disappears, and we understand, well, it exploded? Well, some people would say, well, that happened millions of light years ago. Therefore, the Earth must have been
millions of years old.
Yes. How would you respond to that?
There's three different creationist responses to that statement. Okay, that's one of the common challenges we've had as creationists, and that's it was one of the most difficult until 4 years ago. Okay, I'm going to give you the two historic answers first. Okay, neither of which are terribly satisfactory, but they are good answers. The first one is that when God created the universe, God created the universe fully functioning, which means everything was working, and the light was from the star to here the moment he created it. Just like Adam was fully formed and fully grown, the light was coming here. That's not a terribly satisfactory explanation, but it is one that would satisfy the critics. The second one is that the speed of light has changed over time. Okay? There are some people that think that the speed of light changed over time. That in fact, in the beginning, in the very first days, the speed of light was almost infinite. Because if you remember, what it says on day number 1 is God spoke and he created light. And the concept there is that it was almost infinite at the beginning and the speed of light has declined. There was some research done on that in the 70s and 80s that seemed to confirm that, but that research has never gone much further. So that's another answer that's not satisfactory. But it's an answer. It's a creationist response to the speed of light issue. The third one is really interesting in the fact that it uses current physics. Now, I'm going to get into Einstein's theory of relativity, so I've got to be careful how technical I get here. But basically what Einstein's theory of relativity says is it says three things that are important to our argument. The first one is time had a beginning. Time is relative, that is, time changes. Time is affected by gravity. The stronger the gravitational field, the slower the clock runs. Now that sounds really strange. But our physics have confirmed that. Stephen Hawking, one of the physics experts in the world, has written about that. And when Stephen Hawking wrote about that, what he said was basically that as you approach a black hole, when you look at the person, he is slowing down for you. And from his perspective, you are speeding up. So the clock runs differently. If that's true, then we could have 24 hours here in the Earth, on the Earth, somewhere near the center of mass of the universe, and the clock is running at millions of years in the same time at the edges of the universe. That's a very new model, but it's one that uses modern physics to elaborate how that issue is solved.